Okay, so we're going to take a pause, all right? I've altered our portal schedule just to take a minute to really fine-tune our understanding of solving equations, one-step, two-step, writing statements, solving word problems, the whole 9 yards, all right? Really to bring together these first 3 sections of Chapter 4 because they are so foundational, guys. This is so important to build on, especially with inequalities, because we solve inequalities, which is the rest of Chapter 4, the same way that we solve equations. I've pre-selected some questions from your worksheet, all right? So this is going to look like a blank piece of paper, but it matches up with the worksheet that I just handed you in class today, okay? So the first question I want to work is number 4. Okay, number 4 is a little different because I see that the variable comes after the equal sign. And just as a reminder, guys, I need to solve for the side with the variable. What is a variable? What's a variable? No, the letter. The letter is a variable, and it can be any one of the letters in the alphabet. Doesn't it look a little weird when they put a J in there? You're like, man, why couldn't they just use an X? They're just trying to prove a point that you literally can use any variable in the alphabet. Okay? So what operation connects 3 and Y? What operation connects them? Multiplication. So I must follow my rules for inverse operations and do the opposite. I need to see this. Did you use a fraction bar? Yes. All right? So the work is really important. I know I've been hard on you guys with the work. Okay? But I think you're getting into good habits, which is definitely going to help you in the long run. I would accept 14 over 3. I would accept 14.6 repeating. And I would also accept the mixed number, which is 4 2/3. Okay, so a lot of 4 2/3. Okay, 4 2/3 would be fine also. All right, so now let's do number 6. Okay, just real quick, just want to kind of get an idea. Did you guys get number 4 right if you've already done that? Who got number 4 right if you've already done it? Okay, so we're doing okay. That just gives me an idea. If nobody raises their hand, we need to stop and figure out what happened, okay? All right, so let's look at number 6. I wanted to do at least one with that. What was that word that started with an R? The reciprocal. Because when I have a fraction connected to my variable, the only way to get rid of it is to multiply by its reciprocal. Okay? Fancy word for flip it. Flip the fraction. So if I were to cancel 5/8, Maddie, what would I need to multiply by to cancel 5/8? 8 over 5. Did you guys do that? Yes. Did you do that? Okay. If you're catching your mistake, do you see what you did? Okay. Now, is my answer -10? J equals -10. Yes, I'm done, right? Okay, what did I forget to do? What do I need to still do? Do it to the other side. Whatever I multiply one side by, I have to multiply the other side by that value. Did anybody cross-reduce? Cross-reduce here to make it a little easier? What did you cross-reduce, Lydia? 5 and 10. Did you keep 10 negative? Okay, so -10 reduces to -2. If you forget the negative, so the mistake I saw walking around, saw a lot of people forgot their negative when they cross-reduced, and so they thought the answer was +16. But it wasn't. So you lose 2 points because you forgot your negative. Okay, or maybe a point, depending on the problem. All right, but you definitely lose points if you get the wrong sign, which is a bummer. Okay, all right, how are we doing so far, guys? Okay, let's look at number 9. I'm trying to hit on all of the questions that might give you guys trouble, okay, or that we could clear up some confusion. Am I ready to go ahead and do opposites? Am I ready to do the opposites? No. Okay, so Aiden Haynes, I hear you saying no. What are you going to do first? Very good. Can you tell me, when you did distributive, what was your new equation? Can you tell me? Which is?
And 3, which is 3K.
Yep, 3K. And then what?
And then 3 times -5. Which is -15.
Yep. equals negative 16. So I just want to pause here just for a minute. I know I'm already on number 9. Maybe some of you guys weren't to number 9 yet. Okay, so I just wanted to review with you, when you see distributive property, you've got to get rid of that first. Now we're ready to solve the equation. Just want to pause again for just about a minute for you to finish solving that one if you're not done already. So this was a 2-step equation. This is similar to your lesson from yesterday. This is the freshest information, okay? Does anybody remember what we said? Which term has to be moved first when I'm solving an equation? Hadley?
The adding and subtracting.
Yes, the part that's not connected to the variable. We even said the ones that are connected, those are like best friends. They stay together as long as they can, right? Okay, so that 3K I save for last. I move what's not connected to the variable first. So, like Hadley said, I need to move that negative 15. And how do I do that, class? How do I move negative 15?
Add 15.
Yes, thank you. Add 15 to the other side. What's negative 16? All right, now look here. Did you draw? Now I'm going to get real specific. Did you draw a big equal sign underneath that? I want you to do that. That basically separates off that part of the equation. And now rewrite your equation. So, Maddie, this is what we were just talking about too. Okay? Bring it down. 3K equals negative 1. Now what do I do to both sides to solve? Divide by 3. As odd as that looks, our answer is negative 1/3. Okay? All right, so that's number 9. We're going to do number 11. We're going to do number 11. Okay, the directions specifically state to solve this by clearing the fractions. Raise your hand, someone tell me what is step 1 to clear fractions. Colin.
Find the LCM of the numbers.
Yes, find the LCM or the LCD. The lowest number that will clear my denominators. Did anybody figure out what that number might be? Anybody?
6.
Yes, it is 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 6. That means something that starts with a D, the distributive property. I'm multiplying each term inside the entire equation by 6. Okay? That's what I'm doing. So go ahead and do that and then write your new equation. Compare your new equation with your neighbor. See if they came up with the same thing. You can keep solving if you think you're on the right track.
Yeah.
When we distribute the 6, I'm going to do this quickly, but the 6 is cross-reduced. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay? And then 6 times 3 is 18, Jay. 3 and 6 cross-reduced to a 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Okay, everyone, all 19 of you. What do I do next?
You divide minus 5.
Yes, you minus 5. I know you did it right because I just looked at your paper. Hey, some of y'all aren't listening. I said 19 and 3 of you said what to do. Okay, 18J equals what, class?
Negative 9.
Negative 9.
I meant that.
Okay, divide both sides by 18. This is a fraction, and that's okay. That's okay, all right? Don't fight it. Don't say, oh, it's supposed to be a whole number. Sometimes it's not, and that's okay. All right, turn the page to the back. Turn the page to the back. Negative 1/2. Oh, my goodness, where did it go?
The answer.
That's so weird. I'm sorry. I know. On my screen, it was all there. Okay, it's negative 1/2. All right, turn to the back, please. Please stop talking. Listen, I really don't want to leave you guys on your own to do these problems tonight. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to do the statements, number 13. Okay. Okay, so for some reason I'm behind where I was in 4th hour. We're going to have to come back to this, but we're basically making the statement into an equation. So I'll help you on 13. Negative 13 is 4 less than a number. Okay? Do y'all remember what sign stands for is?
Equal.
It's the equals. Do you remember what less than stands for?
Subtract.
Subtract. But do you remember what was special about less than?
You flip the
Yes, you flip the order. So negative 13 equals, if I need to flip the order, instead of it being how I read it, how would I write it? If it was the difference of 4 and a number, I just say 4 minus n. Hadley? It's n minus 4. And then you can solve. Okay? All right, so I'm going to let you guys finish that section because I need to get to the word problems on the back. So on number 16, 17, and 19, there's something in common with all of them. Okay? And that is that I have to do some kind of operation to solve them. All right, so let's read number 16. And this is the first question I want you to ask yourself. What operation, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, do I need to do with these numbers to get my answer? Here we go. Your mother asked you to turn the oven down to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. This is 75 degrees less than it was. What was the original temperature? All right, so can someone raise your hand and ask or answer? You can even tell me the answer. But tell me what operation is going to get you to your answer. Can anybody tell me that? It says that 325 was 75 degrees less than it was. What was the original temperature? Addie. Just, yeah, tell me what you did.
I did x minus 75 equals 2.
Okay. Back up because you're probably a lot ahead of so what operation do I need to do to solve this?
Addition.
Okay, so what do you think, guys?
Subtraction. Addition.
To solve it though, I need to add. Okay, because what's my answer? What's my answer? 400, right? So here's the good news. The good news is you guys already are a little bit farther ahead of where I thought you were. So we're working backwards. If I need to add to get my answer, you guys got 400. That's great. But if I need to add to get my answer, that means I must subtract in my equation. Okay? So if you're telling me that I need to add these values, which is what you did, 75 plus 325, then that means I must have subtraction connected to my variable. X minus 75 equals 325. You say, well, Miss Skinner, I can get to the answer. I don't need an equation. The equation is just as important as the answer. So as a whole, whatever operation that you have to do, listen, this is important. Whatever operation, if you say, Ms. Kinder, I need to divide to solve this, that means multiplication is connected to x. You say, Ms. Kinder, I need to add to solve this, then subtraction is connected to x. Do you see that? So you can do the opposite to solve. Now, what would I do to both sides to solve? I would add 75. Okay, which is what Addie was saying at the beginning. Is this what you wrote? Okay. But you have to be able to set up the equation. You're only going to get half credit. And half credit on a whole quiz, that's not good, okay? Now, half credit every once in a while, we're okay. But to get full credit on these problems, you have a couple of them on your quiz tomorrow. You have to have the equation. Let's look at number 17. You earned $7.50 per hour at a fast food restaurant. You earned $123.75 last week. How many hours did you work last week? All right, so again, before you blurt out the answer, that's going to be frustrating, guys. Do not blurt out the answer. Okay, give everybody a chance to look at this. What operation are you doing to get to your answer? Some of you already know the answer. What did you do to get the answer? Now, put the opposite operation in your equation. The opposite operation is connected to x. Write your equation. Write the equation. Number 17, you're telling me that I need to divide to get to my answer. So multiplication. Does anybody have this? You can have x. I just did h for hours. Equals 123.75. Did anybody get that? Did you get that equation? Okay, so we're getting there. This is progress, okay? Now, we do what you said to do. We divide both sides by 7.5. Okay, I know we're running short on time, but I want to try to squeeze in number 19. Okay? Number 19, it says it costs $4 to enter the fair. Please stop talking. That's why we're behind. Okay? Each ride costs $2.50, and you have $21.50 to spend. How many rides can you go on? All right, so we're going to start with the easiest part of the equation, the equal sign. Wouldn't you agree that's the easiest part? You know you're going to have an equal sign. On one side of the equal sign, our total needs to go there. Do we have a total amount of dollars? What is it? $21.50. And some combination of the other numbers are going to give me that total. Okay? Now, this is important. Which value, is there a value in the equation that will not be affected by another number, by, how many times I do something? Is there a value in there, Isla?
Yes.
$4. I'm paying $4 to get in. So 4 is by itself because it's not affected by how many times I'm writing something. But guess what is? $2.50 is absolutely affected by how many times I write a ride, which I don't know. So that's how I would set up this equation. You have to understand that this value isn't affected by anything, so it's not connected to the value. We just pay $4 to get in. All right. Last but not least, let's try to cover number 20. The bell may ring. Just hang out for a few seconds. What is it to ask me to solve for here? What is it saying? The what? The what? The perimeter. So everybody with me, say the formula for perimeter. Yes, very good. And I know the perimeter is 24 feet. Do I know the length?
No.
Yeah, I do. Look at the rectangle. 8. I don't know the width. Okay? So the width is what I'm solving for, and you should be able to get to your answer from there. I wish we had more time. We do have help class this afternoon if you guys want to come and finish your worksheets. Finishing your worksheet is your homework tonight, and we will have our quiz tomorrow.